Okay, it's still hunting season. I had to go back home to do a little bit of work. I left Sunday afternoon. That's when the weather started to get here. So it's Tuesday at about 11:30 noon. I just cleaned the rifle. It did have a little bit of debris in it. And I thought I might have rubbed it up against a tree or something like that. But I wanted to make sure the barrel was clean and clear. And I'm going to shoot a couple rounds. One, to foul the barrel, and two, to make sure that my zero is still correct. Everything should be fine, but we'll see here. I'm just at 100 yards. That was a good cold bore and fouling shot, dead center. What did it go? There's two shots there. There's one right there and one right there. So that is really good. That's 1/4 inch. From right there, center of that one, to the center of that one. Just had an old Land Cruiser go in. So it's super wet, it's snowing. I got a full frog tog suit on that I got from Walmart. We'll see how that holds up. I don't even know if I'll be able to get this camera out of the backpack because it's such a wet snow. It's like 35 degrees and snowing, but there's enough snow to track some elk, see if they're out and about. Got the electric bike. I don't know how that electric's gonna hold up in this nastiness, but we'll find out. I've got some scope caps for my scope, and I am gonna tape up my muzzle to keep water out of there. That's my next thing before I hop on that bike and go in looking for tracks. Got a calf with her. Calf is right there. And I've been following up the hill with them. They've kind of run off a few times, but now she's facing me. I don't want her to come trample me. So I thought I'd get out the camera and get a little bit of moose activity. But it is wet and it's getting warm. I think I'm overdressed. Okay. Gotta put the camera away. It's getting raining even harder. Snack time. I haven't seen anything. I'm about 200 yards from the property line. No human tracks. That's a good thing. No human tracks this far in, but also no elk tracks, or deer tracks, or bear tracks, or cat tracks. No tracks. I just bugled off into this huge valley here, hoping to get a response, and nothing. I've been watching in the snow. Just looking in all the areas that have snow for movement. Nothing. My plan is to go north to the property line, and then do a loop into the wind and come out towards the trail, getting closer to dark, 6 o'clock. Probably get dark earlier tonight because of this heavy cloud cover.
seen any tracks except for human boot tracks, and I've been going quite a while. The property boundary is just right over there, so I'm not the only person with the idea of, hey, let's go up to the private land and see if they're crossing. Right now, as you can see, I'm kind of walking this rub line, and it's just amazing that how much of these trees have rubs on them from past years. You can see the history here with elk in the rut. The whole section right here. Another one right there. I'm still making my loop. What are we at here? About 4:45. Still making my loop. Looking for tracks. A lot of times, if you find fresh tracks, you can chase them down. Get a shot off in a clearing. But no tracks to even follow today. Well, it is 30 minutes till sunset. Sunset's over there. It's beautiful. It seems a lot lighter than it is. Yeah, 5 minutes till sunset. It's 10 till 6. So I'm the only one still out here as far as hunters go. So I'm gonna head to private land, to turn around there real slow and come back. It's pouring rain. No more snow, just solid freaking rain. So that's it. It's gonna take about 30-40 minutes to get back to camp. It should be pitch black right about when I get there. Got much different weather. Storms passed, drying out, nice and warm. No elk. Nobody's seen any elk. Yeah, no one's seen any elk yet. There's 2 guys in here at least. The Polaris Ranger parked down there. We got the bike parked right there. So I'm gonna head up in there and see if I get lucky. Running from something. That's the cow and the calf I saw yesterday. I just came down off that hill. That's the hill I was just gonna hike up. Second to last day. Finally found some tracks up on top of that hill up there. And I'm working a whole new area that I discovered with no trails. It's not a huge area, but it's one of the larger areas without ATV access. You can see it's not that easy. Weather has completely changed. It'll be like 60 degrees up here in the mountains on the 5th of November. It's one thing I'm always looking for when I'm coming through the woods is sign. Sign is footprints, poop, and these things. I was actually just thinking to myself, I haven't seen much sign. And I walked up to this beast. It's a good 5-6 inches diameter. This is where they rub their antlers on the trees. There's another one right there. A lot of hunters have left. It's Friday. Season ends tomorrow. Most of the damage is done as far as pressuring the elk to private land. But they always come back. Whether it's 2 days, 5 days, or 2 weeks, they always come back. So we're hoping they're on their way back. Well, this is probably the last morning. Sun just came up. I'd like to at least see an elk. It's the very strangest thing that I have not seen an elk this entire week. I just came across this really, really old tree stand. This thing's probably 30 years old or more. We found our freshest sign. It's not elk, more moose. Got moose droppings right on top of the snow and a bunch of tracks. Probably a cow and a calf again. No elk. It's crazy. So here's something I thought I'd share with you. I took some pictures of it, but this bolt broke off right in there. And I had this shock come up through here. So we got it pried back in there. Got the bolt stuffed in. It's threaded in this side, so that's holding this in. And then we clamped it together with 2 hose clamps, and it's working perfect now. It's working real good. But yeah, I made it back. Nursing it because it was poked up through here and resting on the shock body. But I had to go about 7 miles back. That's why I don't recommend full suspensions for this type of stuff. Well, it's the last evening of the hunt. 4:15. Making the rounds to pick up the cameras. The worst hunt I've ever had. I haven't seen a single elk. This is what we call the intersection camera. There's a squirrel. At least there's some wildlife. And we'll get to see if anything came through here during hunting season, besides hunters. Well, this camera right there is called mountain lion camera. That's where we had the mountain lions come down. This trail here twice. So this one was called Waterhole Cam, and it had the best activity for just about everything, even mostly bulls. This is where we had that 6x7. The third one was a big fork. This one, the last camera pickup, had a, I think it was a 4x4. He was standing right here. I couldn't see his head but I knew he was raking. This, and I think that was late October. See how clear that is? Sticky. That's how you tell if they're this year's or not. Alright, we'll see if it's on the old water hole cam.
This is kind of a real-time outro. That video was filmed at the very beginning of November, and it was the worst elk hunt I've ever had, even including the year that I rifle hunted 301 and 3. I think that's what it was, out there outside of Craig. At least we saw elk. At least we had talked to people who had killed elk and who have seen elk. So this year, nobody saw a single elk. There was lots of people to talk to. I ran into dozens upon dozens of hunters, and nobody had seen anything during the actual season. There were some elk that walked past my camera the one day that I wasn't there. It was when the snow came and I had to go home and take care of my kids and do some work. 2 raghorns walked past what I call my intersection camera. And that is it. Those are the only 2 elk that I have on any of my cameras in that entire valley during hunting season. I had very high expectations based on my previous year in that spot. But I also had this thought that it will never happen again in this location. So that section of National Forest was closed up until Monday in 2020. Let me explain what that means to you. Season starts on Saturday. Nobody can legally step foot in that entire area, probably 100+ square miles. Can't go there Saturday, can't go there Sunday, but Monday, the Colorado Parks and Wildlife, and I think it was Colorado Parks and Wildlife, not individual counties, said, oh, hey, you can go there now. But most people that hunt turn their tags in. Said, hey, you know, it's closed. We can't go to where we usually go. Can't go to where we've got our tags to. We got the fire that burnt this other section down, and this section is closed. So me and my dad pretty much had the whole place to ourselves. It was our very first time being in that area, so we didn't know it well. I learned a lot, especially in 2020 hunting the elk, and all summer long 2021 with my cameras out. I saw elk all the time. I had elk on camera every day, all day, but there was a massive influx of hunters. One guy who lives in the area says it's 5 times more than he's ever seen in the past. Why is that? A lot of people who were displaced in that group of units by forest fires had done some talking and said, okay, well, we'll go to this area because we can't go to this area. It's burnt down and they still have it closed. So there were 5 times as many hunters as usual per some local knowledge. Guys that actually live there and have hunted there for years and years and years. Not sure what to do with it, that area. I really like it. I like that 6x7 elk that I had on camera, but it's too easy to get to. I mean, real easy to get to. Unless there's bad winter. Then you're limited to guys that only have ATVs. Of course, everybody's got a dang ATV. The good thing about me making this video series is while I was searching for trail camera footage, I found the SD card that had my deer hunt on it. Back in September, 2 months prior to this hunt, I had a deer hunt. It was a great adventure, another great learning experience. That'll be the next video series on this channel, our muzzleloader hunt. And that starts the awakening. because we went to this area where you just watched this elk hunt to pick up cameras and to check and see what the load of hunters were. And I'll let you watch that video firsthand. It was an awesome hunt. We, you know, every time I go out, it's an adventure, and that's what it's all about. In fact, I'm planning a solo adventure next week in the back of my truck out into the deep, dark wilderness. It's probably a little bit more risk than I should take because nobody goes there in the winter. It's inaccessible, but I think I can get there in my monster truck. Thanks for watching.